nothing but the dog in me. One must die, chase the cat.
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. Lots of people I know are sick, getting over being sick, can't get rid of being sick. I've joined their ranks officially this week on all kinds of meds. I'm sick and gonna struggle through this show. Someone's painting or something and there's a smell in here that's locking my lungs up, so hopefully I'll get through without very much coughing, and we'll still be able to function by the time I'm through without being high from the fumes. Anyway, this week has been a week. Personally, I started a new job. It's a beautiful thing. Lots of crazy stuff happened this week that I could have done without, but I'll spare you the stories. Most importantly, this past week, there was a very special birthday. Oh, he's in there laughing. Our dear, beloved Zack had a birthday this week. He's waving, but I'm going to ask you, do you want to come on out? He will. That's a beautiful thing. Zack does not like to be on camera. Zack doesn't like to be on camera, but he's going to come out and he's going to like come and say hello for birthday love. Here he is, and he just killed his knee.
I just heard both my kneecaps just implode.
Yeah, you're not even on the camera, so you gotta like lean over a little bit and say happy birthday, bark.
Oh, bark.
So, he just did his thing and ran. That's about as good as we get with Zack on camera. But you know, I always say that without Zack, there would be no show. Because I certainly can't be on both sides of the production. You know, I can be out here and look pretty and rant and rave. And Zack is the one who pushes all those very tricky buttons and figures out all the stuff that, you know, once upon a time I knew how to do all that stuff when I was more involved with behind the scenes stuff for other shows. But, you know, once we went digital and things changed a little bit and I was more in front of the camera than behind the scenes, you know, you're taught something and then you just like, you know, you don't use it and you forget. So Zack is the one who learned it well. You know, if I didn't have someone to be in the control room, like I said, definitely couldn't be on the show. So I always have to say thank you, Zack. I appreciate you. You're welcome. And, you know, he's a very special friend. He's a great person and love him lots. Bark. He's in there laughing. Bark. So, yeah, this is probably like the second time I got him to come out on camera, which is a feat. So, yeah, but, you know, he's really cool because he'll come with me to events and, you know, we'll take pictures and we'll ham it up and we'll have fun. And he doesn't shy away then, but maybe half the time he doesn't realize his picture's being taken until later. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. But anyway, yes, wanted to start the show with a very special happy birthday, Zack. Zack, did you see that I posted your birthday on the Posse Presents page? Yeah, no, I don't think you commented. There were several people who wished you a happy birthday. Oh, well, yes. Made you feel good, though, didn't it? He said he was... Yeah, see, Zack had a lot of happy birthday wishes is what he's saying on Facebook. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. So he was pretty high on his pedestal. He was like up in the clouds, and that's a beautiful thing. So he needs to go back to where I posted his birthday and acknowledge all the people who wished him happy birthday. He's going to do that right now. Wait, you've got other work to do, son? Yeah, check him out. Careful. But you know what? Don't do it now because it's going to make my phone ding. Yeah, I'll let you not because then I'm gonna have to like excuse myself from the air and come in and choke you. Because it's bad enough like when people call me and text me and I'm on the air, you know. Yes, exactly. I'll have an entire orchestra of Facebook notifications. See, I don't know if you can hear him. I can hear him, but I don't know if it's traveling over the mic. So I realize that this is probably a little bit unfair for me to be having a conversation with Zack and whether you can hear him or not. But yeah, he's in there laughing. Let him laugh. All right. So on to what I guess I really do have like a show to do and at some point, yes, I have a show to do, Zack. Thank you very much. He's in rare form today. So anyway, a bittersweet moment this week for Sweet Pea Friends of Rutland Animals. The permit for demolition had been approved, and I think there had been a waiting period, and that's done. So now the demolition has actually begun. So Zack, if you can scroll through those pictures, they're really hard to look at. Again, this has got to be such a bittersweet moment for everyone. I mean, it is for me as well, but, you know, to see for Melanie and Dick, to see this shelter that they put so much into start to come down, even after all that transpired there with the fire and this 2.5 years of waiting. You know, it's a positive in that it's moving forward, and there's Dick standing there in front of some of what's going on. I love that man. He is so cool. But, you know, to have gone through all of the heartache and the struggles to get to this point, you know, the excitement of being able to move forward finally, and just the letting go of everything that this building represented and went through, and the devastation, just got to be a lot of mixed emotions to have this be finally happening, and you know, to see it up close and personal. Glad that they posted the pictures. I know that along the way, they're definitely going to keep everybody in the loop and you know, be very transparent about what's going on, because that's just the type of people that they are. So hopefully it won't be long before they actually start getting to put up the new building. I can't wait personally to see how it's all gonna be. I know that they have a really nice plan for memorial section and, you know, tributes and stuff like that. And I'm sure that when the shelter finally does open, there'll be a big shindig, and it would be nice to see so many people there to celebrate. Again, another bittersweet moment, because without the tragedy, moving forward and having the new shelter would not have happened. You know, dear people, and I certainly hope that it moves forward smoothly and swiftly, and they can get back to saving animals in the manner that they're accustomed to, and that they have the reputation for. And I'm excited to be a part of things going forward. All right, so I'll take the camera back for a hot. And we've got some adoptables tonight that I would like to present. And the first two are a bonded pair. And I feel so very strongly about bonded pairs. Anybody who knows me knows that. Let's take a look at Santana and Blue. I love these faces. I can't even stand it. As I said, they're a bonded pair who would like to stay together. Right now, the shelter is absolutely trying to keep them together. And while that may sound like a tall order, Maybe it's not, because they like children and they like other dogs, and maybe they even like cats. So together, you know, they're a lot of times you get a pair and they're good with each other, but they're not good with anything else. They're not good with other dogs, you know, they're iffy around kids, maybe not cats. But these dogs, they have it all going on. They're good with kids. They're good with other dogs. You know, they'd be happy in another pack or with another sibling, or maybe even a couple of siblings, depending on what your situation is. You know, if you've got cats, it's not a big deal. These two are probably very placeable together as long as somebody's willing to have two larger dogs. This is kind of like a replay of last week where, boy, am I tempting myself. But anyway, these two are both about 5 years old, and they have lived their whole lives together. So, you know, it would be even more heartbreak for them after losing their home to lose each other. That's something that, like I said, I feel so strongly about. I can't imagine if anything had ever happened to me and like Duke and Bocce and Gidget had to have been separated. I don't think that they really would have done well. You know, if you look at the time frame of me losing them all, I think that one contributed to the other, but that's just me. Anyway, Santana and Blue are at the Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter in Branford. And if you are interested in finding out more about these two, you can call 203-315-4125. Once again, that's 203-315-4125. And another baby in need at the Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter is Jake. And look at little Jake, is so cute. You know, for those people who say it's all pit bulls in shelters and, you know, there's no little dogs, you're not looking hard enough, that's for sure. Anyway, Jake is an 8-year-old poodle mix. He likes other dogs and children. He's been an all-around good boy at the shelter. And if you are interested in Jake, once again, the number to call is 203-315-4125. That's 203-315-4125. Next up, we have a pretty girl named Zuzu. And look at her pretty face and her happy smile. Zuzu loves people and is good with other dogs, but she is an alpha and would probably be best in a home with a laid-back, more submissive sibling. Say that a few times really fast. Anyway, she would probably be too much for little kitties. Sometimes, you know, a dog's energy is just not conducive to living with a cat. And, you know, you don't want to set them up to fail. So, you know, a laid-back dog and no cats, and Zuzu would be happy. So anyway, like I said, cats have been ruled out of her equation. Zuzu is spayed and up to date, and she's ready to meet her new family. And she is at Middletown Animal Control. So if you are interested in finding more about this beautiful young lady, you can call 860-638-4030. Once again, that's 860-638-4030. Next up, we have Bubbles. Look at that sweet, pretty face. I can't even stand some of these dogs. They're so cute. I just want to go smush them. Anyway, Bubbles is a sweet and friendly girl who would love to be in a home. She is about a year old. She is up to date with her vaccinations. She's spayed and microchipped. She's said to be good with other dogs. And she is at Stratford Animal Control. And you can find out more about Bubbles at 203-385-4068. Once again, that's 203-385-4068. Next up, we have Lulu. Look at pretty Lulu. Lulu is a senior at 10 years old. She's spayed, she's up to date on her vaccinations, negative for diseases, and would prefer to be an only cat so she can soak up all the love and cuddles for herself. She is also at Stratford Animal Control and just waiting for someone to come and scoop her up and make her their own. Stratford Animal Control, if you are interested, you can call 203-385-4068. Once again, that's 203-385-4068. And if you go to their page, there's a couple other pictures of Lulu bird watching on her little spot there. And so glad that they had a picture of her pretty little face. Anyway, another kitty is Misty. And Misty kind of looks like a big cat to me. Misty's owner passed away, and of course now Misty needs to find a new home. Misty is also a senior at about 12 years old and desperately needs someone to provide a forever, however long home. Not saying that at 12 years old there's anything wrong or that, you know, a cat doesn't live a lot longer than that, but, you know, at 12 years old, some cats can live another 10 years, some cats not so much. So, you know, again, it's forever / however long. Anyway, Misty was posted by Torrington Animal Control and is not at the shelter. So if you're interested in Misty, you would want to call the ACO Debbie at 860-485-9165. That's 860-485-9165. Like I said, Misty is not at the shelter, but apparently Debbie is trying to facilitate the adoption. All right, so next up, we've got a dog in a situation that doesn't thrill me. Let's get Tanner up. Now, this is the post that has been circulating the last few days about Tanner. And to me, it's disturbing that in this day and age, an animal shelter, no matter how small or understaffed, can't get it together enough to have all of their animals posted not only on social media, but on a site like Pet Finder or any of the other pet search sites as well. Essex doesn't have a Facebook page. I don't see them on the town's website. I don't understand how these dogs ever stand a chance. Apparently, Tanner has been in the Essex Animal Control facility for a good 6 months with little to no exposure. The post here contains basically no information about this guy, other than that he's been, you know, waiting for a home and that he's been there for 6 months. So, if anybody can help this boy or this shelter, that would be a beautiful thing. I would say it's a fairly desperate situation for a lot of these dogs and cats who are in these low-profile, low-exposure shelters. And I'm going to get on to that in a second. But if you can do anything to help Tanner or to help the Essex, Connecticut Animal Control, their number is 860-767-3219. Once again, that's 860-767-3219. And now I'm going to go on my rant because, you know, it's inevitable. I'll take the camera back. Now, of course, if there's any rescues that can forge a relationship with a shelter like Essex, with any of these animal control facilities that don't have a whole lot going on for them, it's critical. It will help get the animals out of there. It will help get the animals the exposure. You know, if there are any locals, and this doesn't just go for the Essex facility, there are animal controls all over the state, all over every state, that don't have the help that some of the other shelters have. So, you know, what do you do? Where do you begin? Approach the facility and see if they can get you permission to help. Because you know what? Somebody has to. I've done it before. And, you know, it's not always very easy to get your foot in the door. It's not always very easy to gain the trust of the ACOs because they feel, for some reason, like, you know, the public is the enemy. when it comes to a lot of trying to get the dogs placed. You have to be able to win them over. You have to suck it up just a little bit, but you really have to try. If you're in a position to help, you really should. Like I said, go to the ACOs, see if you can help them with their pet finder. See if you can help them with a Facebook page. Now, a lot of these places won't accept volunteers because of a liability thing. A lot of these places won't, they'll say they're understaffed, they don't have the time to keep up on it. Well, you know, a lot of shelters have support pages. You know, a group of people who basically, for instance, Essex, Connecticut Animal Control support page on Facebook. See if you can get permission to do that. You're not acting on behalf of the shelter. You are acting in partnership with the shelter. You are trying, you know, you go there, you meet the dogs, you post them, you get to know them a little bit, or you can get the ACOs to tell you what they know, and you can go and post, and it's your own entity. It's your responsibility. And you know what? You're getting the animals out there, and you're helping promote them, and you're helping to save their lives. You know, if they can't get you permission, you can go to the higher ups. A lot of times it's just a matter of the chain of authority, the police chief, whoever the animal control in that town reports to. It's just incomprehensible to me that, again, in this day and age, some of these facilities are, you know, in Connecticut, it's the law where you have to advertise them and you have to post them. They're getting away with the minimum of posting them in the paper. And, you know, people don't even read the paper anymore. So while that's really nice, the world is more focused on social media. So I don't see how, with all intention of getting these animals placed, you wouldn't let it happen. So push, people. Push and try to help. You know, there's plenty of people out there that know a lot of people in rescue that can probably broker these dogs into homes, broker these dogs into getting to a rescue so that, you know, they can be cared for and placed and not sit in a cold shelter and eventually end up being urgent and on the way out and being put down. You know, that's I hate to say it, another reason why a lot of animal control facilities, a lot of municipal shelters, maybe not in this state, maybe more in other states, you know, the public is the enemy, because once people start going in there, things that go on behind closed doors are going to be seen if they are not hidden. And not every animal control facility is good to their animals. So, you know, it keeps them on their toes to have the public in there, and sometimes that's what they hate, and that's why. So do it. Just do it. Go to the shelter. Get to know the animals. Take pictures. Get them out there. Get them posted. Even if you have to do it on your own page, you know, your own personal Facebook page, it's not going to be the end of the world. Get involved and help get these animals out of shelters. You know, when I ever saw that, you know, this poor dog was sitting in this shelter for 6 months without any exposure here in Connecticut, that just kind of like tipped me over the edge, because I am very sure that Tanner, along with any other animals that are there, sitting there, wallowing in going nowhere fast, would absolutely prefer to be loved and cherished family members. And, you know, you got to ask yourself, if they're sitting there with no exposure, do they even have treats? Do they even have toys? Do they even get outside time? You know, the only way that change is going to ever happen is if people start walking through the doors of these places and making a little noise. I'm not saying be rude, but shake it up a little bit. Help these animals. All right, so next Saturday, Bikers Against Animal Cruelty is having their annual Strike Out Animal Cruelty. Let's get that poster up, Zach. Saturday, January 27th, at the Wallingford Bowl from 1 to 4 p.m. It's going to be 980 North Colony Road is the address in Wallingford. There is a Facebook event. You can check that out. You could look that up. Or you can go to bikersagainstanimalcruelty.org, and I'm sure they have all the information that you need up on there. And Dawn, if you're watching, I know I didn't call you this week, but I will. I have the feeling that we're going to try to connect and get there on Saturday and show our happy faces in support of a group that I love, and we all know that I do. So that is coming up next Saturday. And let's see, can we roll through the adoptables one more time? I love their faces. I love all of them. And I really think that everybody should love them too. Most of them are posted on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. And, you know, if you could at the very least share some of these dogs and cats, you know, I said it before and I'll say it again, sharing is what helps get them noticed and networked and into homes. So, you know, go to Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, share who's there, let's help them get home. Let's help Santana and Blue stay together. It'd be a beautiful thing. And, you know, see what you can do about trying to help some of these shelters that need exposure. You know, they're not all created equal, and they don't have the help. They don't have the resources. Some of them will probably be glad to have it. So, you know, get involved, people. That's like the best thing I can say is get involved. All right, so how much time do we have left, Zach? Huh? A little less than a minute. So in a little less than a minute, what can I possibly say that I haven't said already tonight? We've said happy birthday to Zack. Bark, bark. We've shown our adoptables. I've ranted and raved. Here comes Nate, and that's all she wrote. So I'm going to say peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, thank you all for watching.